Welcome, gentlemen. The Truman Invitational has finished week 1 and we're rolling into week 2. A little shout out to the Irish for a valiant effort last week up at the Horseshoe, and that was for my cousin Mike. A little Notre Dame fever going. Hopefully they'll bounce back for the Irish. As gentlemen, talking to you on a Friday night here in South Carolina, and usually I would not be able to speak to you as I would be officiating football. But since people in South Carolina, I guess, are too scared to play in the rain, they have my game was canceled. So come home and start thinking about how I can do better for my college football team and getting ready for college football, not only on TV tonight but tomorrow. Thought I'd do a little recap video of week 1, see where we are, check the pulse of everybody, also answer a couple questions that came up last week. One involving the waiver wire. John Hutchins, the Fighting Hardballs, called me and had asked exactly a couple questions on the waiver wire. We got that worked through, and really his big question was you have player A and a player B you're looking to pick up, but you decide you're only going to drop one player from your roster. So basically, if you get player A, it'll drop player C. Well, what will happen on the next waiver claim? In other words, picking up waiver B when you're still dropping player C. Well, that will no longer be allowed to happen. That transaction will not be viable. So if you don't get A, then you might get the B player. But that's how you work that. You just prioritize in the order you want on the transaction page, move them up or down. Second question we had came Sunday, I think. Came from one of our owners, not a new owner. This owner asked me, said, Jim, how many defenses do we start? And as we all know, we start 2. Well, I got a one-word expletive back in the message on the text return. Start with an F, end it with a K. So, guys, remember, just like as a lot of folks probably don't realize this, that those of us who are officials in football or basketball, any other sport, we do have a rule book we follow, and we study it very hard. Even though you parents in the stands think you know the rules, you don't. Just letting you know. So, Josh, the same way. Josh Berry, make sure you check the rules before the week starts. You found out we start 2 defenses. Plus, there's a spot down in the lineup. But anyway, I think Josh is straight now. I'm sorry that he didn't get a second defense starting. But it doesn't look like it hurt him too much. We'll turn our attention to the standings board this week. Color-coded these. We have the green, who are off to great starts. The blue, who are doing okay. And then there's some of us in the red who got a lot of room for improvement. Looking at our division leaders, Chef Al and Almost Nap Time, both 3-0. Chef Al with a nice start in the Booches division. Almost Nap Time, Rusty starts off right where he left off last year's league champion. This week scoring 286, which gives him the $10 prize for the week, our first prize winner. And then he's tied at the top of the standing at 3-0 with G Daddy ×2 and Beer Belly Blues. So Gene and Todd doing a good job. Gene, you still suck, but 3-0 is not bad for you. So just saying. We have some teams at 2-1. East Carolina Hambone, which Chris, living in Greenville, North Carolina, big East Carolina fan. Tough loss to NC State last week. Really put up a hell of a fight. I'm sure Chris was at that game, but a good start for him. And there are crybabies at 2-1. Jamie Till, 2-1 with the crybabies. So not bad for him, even though Carolina looked horrible and barely beating Georgia State. But that's a good start for him at 2-1. Then we have playoff committee at 2-1. And Jason Ricker, who was in our championship game last year, was good. And then Andrew, a good start, 2-1 after coming off a tough year last year. Really the representative of West Virginia with a good start. After even good start for him, even though West Virginia, really entertaining game. Some of you might have watched that last Thursday night. The back here brawl against Pitt was really good. But 2-1 for Andrew. So well done for those teams. And then you got some top teams that got hung in there. Went 1-2, not a horrible start, definitely not recoverable pretty quickly. Messages on Watson tab, 1-2, so even with only 1 defense, he did get 1 win. Mark Burke, not bowl eligible. He comes in his first week at 1-2. The Fighting Hardballs, our other good team that I talked about, 1-2 for John. And then Allen at 1-2 for Swag Juice, one of our playoff teams from last year. Probably hopes to improve on that. And saw this weekend he's up at a senior PBA event, Pro Bowling Association event in North Carolina. So hopefully he'll remember to get his lineup in. But good job by those teams. And then there's the rest of us. 4 teams at 0-3 on a really tough weekend for me. Went 0-3, lost a quarterback in the first quarter for Texas Tech. So his replacement had like 30 points in the final 3 quarters, so that hurt. Justin, good season, back again. He's back. He's 0-3. Shannon, I suck, and we all knew he'd be 0-3. Also with a paltry 349 points scored. That's in 3 games. I mean, you can do the math. That's barely, 115 points a game? So I know Shannon made a bunch of moves, so he's hoping to rebound this week from that tough start. And then keeping it in the family, my cousin Mike Mitchell, not only did his Irish go down a tough, but 0-3 for Lee Corson's headgear. So he may need to find another headgear this week, pull out the winner instead of the loser. So that's where our standings are. Pretty good start to the season as far as college football goes. I don't know if you guys saw a lot of the games. One of the best games I saw was University of Texas San Antonio hosted Houston. And I started watching that game, and because the other 3:30 games are blowouts. Georgia I don't know if anybody could beat them or Alabama, but absolutely was destroying Oregon. So I switched over to this UTSA Houston game, which was unbelievable. Went to triple overtime, and really a lot of the things that college football is all about. You just never know what's going to happen. That was awesome. We kind of saw the same thing in that Sunday night game, LSU and Florida State. An extra point gets blocked to keep it from overtime. So we're definitely in a high time in college football. It's great to see. Make sure you get your lineups in on time. Make sure that if you have any questions about waivers, let me know. And guys, there is no crying. I just want to read a text to you. This text will be anonymous, just because it was so sad. I didn't really know what to do with it. But before I do that, let's make a reach out to our sponsors. Our new sponsor this week, as we turn to fall into football season, Elijah Craig, one of my favorite bourbons, is sponsoring the Truman Invitational. Pinnacle Vodka, also one of our sponsors this week. A great smooth vodka. If you don't want to pay for Grey Goose, this is a great mid-level replacement. Excellent vodka for your vodka dietonics, your vodka club sodas, your vodka and whatever, or for you crazy people who want to do Jello shots, something great you can use. It also comes in multiple flavors. How about that? Then our title sponsor, of course, Rodney's Rockets, from the family of Chef Al. He's 3-0 probably because he sponsors the league. So Rodney's Rockets, since Justin's not here, get a pew pew pew. So there you go, Rodney's Rockets. There's a shout out to our sponsors and a cheers to all you gentlemen. Smooth. So guys, I got to read a text to you because we just can't have this type of crybaby mentality. I'm not going to name the text, but I'm going to read it to you. It's almost like a Dear Abby letter. But I just want you to listen and, don't judge the person. It just may have been a tough day. So here we go. I mean this in the most polite way possible, but I need you to quietly find a replacement for me in the college league next year. The point of fantasy is to enjoy it. I don't enjoy college fantasy. I don't watch the games. I don't know the players or anything about them. I pay my dues and set my lineups, but I just have zero desire to participate. Thanks again for letting me try. Just not my thing. Well, just my thing. Pull up your shorts, put your big boy pants on, and let's go. It's football season. And you can certainly find a better attitude than that, young man. So let's get after him out there, boys. And since while we're talking about that, I think I got a pep talk for our poor downtrodden member of the Mizzou Invitational. Let me see if I can pull it up for you. Here we go, boys.
You won't know what you have to do.
Oh, that's not the one I want. Let's back up a little bit. Here we go. You ready? Time to put on your big boy pants.
We're going to go inside, we're going to go outside, inside and outside. We're going to get them on the run, boys. Once we get them on the run, we're going to keep on the run. And then we're going to go. And we're not going to stop until we get past that goal line. This is Team Bases. It's good. I think we're better than them. They can't lick us. What do you say, man?
If it wasn't too late for Rudy, it's never too late for you. All right, boys. Go get them this week. Good luck.